Welcome back to Carly Jahan Official. In the following video, we're going to be talking about psychic smell. It is part of the Psychic Clair series that I am doing. Now, understand that this is going to give you a different perspective based on what you search in Google or what you find online. Okay, so this video is based on an article that I have on my website. So if you want the article version, feel free to visit carlyjahanofficial.com/blog. Okay, let's get started. Clairalience psychic smell is the ability to perceive scent without a physical source. People with clairalience may smell smoke, metal, mold, perfume, gas, or decay, even when nothing in the environment explains it. These scents appear suddenly, disappear quickly, and are not imagination or memory recall. Clairalience functions as a form of sensory-based intuition, where the nervous system detects emotional pressure, unresolved containment, or energetic instability before the conscious mind can interpret it. This is also known when a bitch be smelling shit and nothing's there. Let's get one thing straight immediately. Psychic smell is not cute. It's not roses and lavender and a loved one is near, like we're told or have been told. Sometimes it's metal. Sometimes it's rot. Sometimes it's oil, mold, smoke, decay, or something so specific. Your brain goes, why the hell does this smell like grief and Marlboro lights? And before anyone gets excited, no, you're not crazy. Your nose didn't betray you. Your sensory system just runs diagnostics before language does. Clairalience, also known as psychic smell, is the ability to perceive scent without a physical source. No candle, no incense, no environmental explanation. The smell arrives fully formed and usually disappears just as fast. This is not your imagination. This is not memory recall. This is perception. And unlike the clairs, people love to romanticize. This one tends to mind its own business until it absolutely does not, because smell is not a gentle sense. Smell evolved for survival. You smell danger before you understand it. You smell rot before you see it. You smell gas before the explosion, which explains why clairalience rarely brings pleasant data first. What is clairalience? Clairalience is a form of intuitive perception where information is received through scent rather than images, emotions, or words. The key distinction is this: the smell has no physical source. There is no environmental explanation, no nearby object producing it, no lingering odor others can detect. The scent appears suddenly, fully formed, often intensely specific, and fades just as quickly. Unlike imagination, which must be constructed mentally, clairalience arrives complete. There is no thinking into the experience. The nervous system detects first. Meaning comes later. This is why psychic smell often confuses people early on. It doesn't behave like thought, it behaves like sensory input. Is psychic smell real or imagination? Now that's the question. Imagination requires effort. Psychic smell does not. Imagination pulls from memory and association. Clairalience delivers unfamiliar, often unwanted data. Most people don't imagine mildew in a clean room. They don't fantasize about rust, blood, exhaust, or decay. These scents are intrusive. They interrupt thought. They often trigger physical reaction like nausea, sinus pressure, or an involuntary what the hell was that moment. That's your clue. If it arrives uninvited and leaves without permission, you're not inventing it. How clairalience works. Sensory perception explained. Smell bypasses logic. Olfactory input goes straight to the limbic system, the part of the brain responsible for survival, memory, and threat detection. That means scent registers before language, before meaning, before emotion. Your body knows something before your mind can narrate it. In clairalience, the same pathway is used just without a physical odor present. The nervous system detects pressure, density, or instability and translate it into the closest available sensory signal, scent, not metaphorically, mechanically. Now, we're going to talk about my first experience with psychic smell. My first undeniable experience with clairalience happened during a phone call with a very close friend, someone who had also been a previous client. Out of nowhere, I smelled antifreeze and mechanical fluid. Not faint, not questionable, strong as hell. The kind of smell that makes your body react before your brain catches up. I stopped mid conversation and said, "Hold on. Let me call you right back. I smell something weird." Like most of us would, I immediately went into investigation mode. I walked through my house, nothing. I went room to room, nothing. I stepped outside, still nothing. No leaks, no car running, no environmental explanation. So I called her back. The moment she answered, I could feel the panic in her voice. She was emotional, overwhelmed, barely holding herself together. And then something strange happened. Words started coming out of my mouth before my brain had time to assemble them. I wasn't thinking, I wasn't interpreting, I wasn't searching for meaning, I was reporting. She went quiet and finally asked, "How did you know all that?" I paused and said, "The only honest thing I could. I heard it, and it wasn't subtle, it was loud." That was the moment clairalience psychic smell became my dominant psychic sense, and my psychic hearing sharpened at the same time. For a while, it was startling because psychic smell doesn't announce itself politely. It doesn't arrive symbolically. It doesn't wait for permission. It cuts straight through conversation and lands on what isn't being said. Let me say that again. It lands on what isn't being said. Clairalience doesn't track the story someone is telling you. It tracks what's hidden underneath it, what's being avoided, what's compressed, what's leaking through the cracks. And it rarely works alone. Psychic smell operates in tandem with other forms of perception, especially psychic hearing, forming a diagnostic loop. The scent flags the pressure. The hearing clarifies the data. The body confirms the truth. That experience changed everything for me. Because once you recognize clairalience for what it actually is, a sensory warning system, you stop questioning whether it's real. Your nervous system already knows. Common clairalience psychic smell and what they indicate. Clairalience does not deliver random scents. They tend to fall into consistent categories. Cigarette smoke often appears around suppressed grief, unresolved endings, or emotional exhaustion. It's common even for people who have never smoked or been around smokers. Metal or blood like smells often register during moments of acute emotional pressure, fear containment, or unspoken trauma that required survival level suppression. Mold or mildew typically appears when something has stagnated, emotions never processed, truth never spoken, environments held together by endurance rather than help. Gas or exhaust smells often show up when a situation is volatile or approaching rupture. Think pressure building with no release valve. Rot or decay scents tend to signal something long buried. Not the original event, but what never got to finish happening afterward. Perfume or cologne may appear, but in clairalience, it carries emotional weight rather than nostalgia. It doesn't feel sentimental, it feels charged. The common denominator is not symbolism, it's density. Why clairalience often detects unpleasant scents. Here's the part most spiritual explanations miss. You are not smelling trauma itself. You are smelling containment. When emotion is processed, it moves. When emotion is suppressed, it compresses. Pressure plus time creates density. Density leaves residue. Residue registers as scent. That's the mechanic. Unspoken grief ferments. Buried pain stagnates. Inherited silence smells old. Psychic smell does not detect the event, it detects what never resolved afterward, which is why the scents are rarely poetic. Rot doesn't smell holy. Suppression doesn't smell like jasmine. Clairalience and trauma, what you're actually smelling. This is where people get it wrong fast. If you perceive pain, that does not mean it belongs to you. Perception is not confession. If that were true, smoke detectors would need therapy. Doctors would be secretly hemorrhaging, and anyone who smells a gas leak must be the gas leak. Clairalience doesn't tune into suffering, it tunes into pressure. What hasn't moved, what hasn't been expressed, what had to be swallowed to survive. That's why people with strong psychic smell often get accused of always going to trauma. Been there, done that too. You are not attracted to pain. You're describing the loudest signal in the room. Forensic perception versus symbolic intuition. This is a big one. Many intuitive systems operate symbolically, images, archetypes, messages, emotional impression. That's interpretive intuition. Clairalience psychic smell operates differently. It's forensic. Forensic perception doesn't care about story, it cares about residue. It doesn't read what people say, it reads what leaks. Someone can speak calmly, logically, convincingly, while your nose goes, absolutely not, because the body never lies, but it absolutely leaks. You're not smelling the wound, you're smelling what's been hiding it. That's why the scent often feels mechanical rather than emotional. Oil, rust, gas, metal, mold. Those are stagnation smells, not metaphors. Physical analog for compressed systems. Why psychic smell intensifies after sessions. This part causes unnecessary fear. You are not taking on energy, you are detecting release. When containment loosens, seals break. When the seal breaks, residue vents. That's why clairalience psychic smell often spike after sessions, conversations, or emotional processing, yours or someone else's. It's not containment, it's a diagnostic running post event. Physical symptoms of clairalience. Psychic smell often has physical side effects, especially early on. Common responses include red or flushed nose, sinus pressure or burning, sudden nausea, watery eyes, head pressure, sensitivity spikes. These symptoms don't mean something went wrong. They mean your sensory antenna just ran a scan on dense emotional material. Now, how to strengthen clairalience without overwhelm. You don't strengthen psychic spell by forcing perception. You stabilize the body instead. Hydration matters. Minerals matter. Rest matters. Boundaries. Oh my God, boundaries matter. Neutrality matters more than ritual ever will. You don't chase the scent. You note it and move on. The moment obsession enters, signal clarities drop. Clairalience sharpens when the nervous system is calm. Chaos amplifies everything, including noise. Is clairalience dangerous? No. Unregulated nervous systems are exhausting. Uninterpreted perception is confusing, but the ability itself is not harmful. Psychic smell is information, not invasion. It becomes overwhelming only when someone believes they must fix everything they detect. Now, if you feel that statement more than I did when I wrote that statement, leave me a comment. Detection is not responsibility. Now, let's talk about the signs you have clairalience. You may experience psychic smell if you notice scents no one else can smell. The odor vanishes quickly. The smells are specific, not vague. They appear during emotional conversations. They intensify after sessions or deep talks. They trigger physical responses. They point toward what isn't being said. Now, if that's familiar, your system isn't malfunctioning, it's diagnostic. Now, final truth. Some people receive inspiration. Some receive images. Some receive emotion. Some receive diagnostics. That's not darkness. That's triage. You're not here to float people upward. You're here to locate what's leaking so it can finally be addressed. Psychic smell is not glamorous. It's honest. And honesty rarely smells like roses. Now, we're going to go through some questions that I got from a couple of the people we had talked about this with. So I have some questions and answers to go over. So again, what is clairalience? Psychic smell is the intuitive ability to perceive smell without a physical source. The scent often appears suddenly, has no environmental cause, and often disappears quickly. It's sometimes called psychic smell. What does psychic smell mean? It means receiving intuitive information through scent rather than sight, emotion, or sound. The smell is not imagined and does not come from memory or surroundings. Why do I smell cigarette smoke when no one is smoking? Now, in clairalience, cigarette smoke often appears in connection with suppressed grief, emotional exhaustion, or unresolved emotional pressure rather than an actual spirit or physical odor. Why do psychic smells disappear so quickly? This was a great question. Clairalience scents appear and vanish quickly because the nervous system received the information instantly. Once the signal is registered, the scent fades. Why do I smell metal or blood? And this is more common than you think. Metallic or blood-like smells in clairalience are commonly linked to intense emotional compression, fear-based containment, survival level stress stored in the body. Next question. Can clairalience cause nausea or sinus pressure? Yes, yes, and yes. Psychic smell can trigger physical responses such as nausea, sinus pressure, watery eyes, or even a red nose because scent perception directly activates the nervous system. Next question. Is clairalience imagination or memory recall? We pretty much covered this already. So let's go to the next one. Why does my nose turn red after intuitive or energy work? This is actually for a specific friend of mine. And I'm not going to call her out, but just know I love you, girl. Okay, answer. A red or flushed nose can occur when clairalience activates strongly. This happens due to increased sinus sensitivity and nervous system response during emotional release or perception. Yes. Is clairalience dangerous? No. Short answer. Overwhelm usually comes from nervous system fatigue, lack of grounding, or misunderstanding the ability, not from the perception itself. And we already covered how to strengthen clairalience. So as you can tell from this video, this is a totally different perspective of looking at the psychic clairs. So I have a total of 9 that I am doing, and 2 of them are not even named. So again, everything that I share with you guys is based on my own personal experience and the experiences of my clients. Hope this helps. I would love to hear what you thought about the video. Please leave me a comment, and I'll see you in the next video.